Three. What's good, good people? Vets, let's talk. We got a special guest in front of the formation today. First Sergeant Harold Hall. Before we get started, I'd like you guys to press your like, share, and subscribe, man. HBO special. Help a brother out. This video might not be for you, but it's for somebody that you know. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about you?
Outstanding, man. I see you looking like you in your early 30s there. You looking good.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't always feel like it, but I'm trying.
Hey, so you retired out of the military, right?
I did.
So how does it feel?
2008.
So you must have got out when we got back from War Horse.
Yes, I did. About 3 or 4 months.
Oh, wow. Amazing. So would you do it all over again?
Which part?
The military.
No. Truthfully, yeah, I would. I wouldn't change anything. I don't have any regrets.
Okay. That's cool. It's like, the question I like to ask anybody, because I like hearing because everybody has a story as opposed to where they were during 9/11. Do you remember where you were during that time?
I do, absolutely. I was at Fort Knox. I was on a field training exercise. I was teaching land navigation to IET soldiers for basic training.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So did anything kind of go through your head as opposed to what was taking place? Because I thought I was watching like a Die Hard movie or something. I just seen the planes hit. I was at the gym and they just shut down the whole city of Chicago.
No, we couldn't see anything. No, the battalion commander came out to explain to us what was going on, but there's not much we could do about it. It's not like we were going to come back in for anything. Training had to continue, so we had to compartmentalize everything and just go on about our business.
Right. So you was already in the teaching position at that time then. So you was leading then. So can you name a person who has had a tremendous impact on you as a leader? Maybe someone that person was a mentor. Why and how did that person impact your life?
Well, I honestly can't name just one person or individual. I think initially it was my drill sergeants in basic training and AIT.
Right.
I think over time, many leaders influenced my development during different phases of my career.
Okay. So what is one characteristic that you believe every leader should possess?
Without a doubt, it has to be competence, first and foremost.
So why do you say that?
Well, it's the foundation for any type of effective leader. It's the most important leadership trait for a leader in the military or otherwise. It's necessary to have credibility and to demand the respect that's required to be effective.
Right. That's real big. That's real big. So what is one mistake you witness leaders making more frequently than others?
I think constantly making emotionally based decisions over the logically thought out ones.
That is that's a big one.
Unfortunately, most leaders can't always recognize that mistake until after the fact.
Right. That is so true. Because a lot of times us as people, we get ahead of ourselves and our emotions take over and our reactions, like we just witnessed it on TV, how emotions can take charge of what you do and things get so out of hand. It's like, how can I get back to the standards of the leadership that my troops were following? That is right. Big. What are a few resources you would recommend to someone looking to gain insight into becoming a better leader?
Well, first you need to educate yourself on the different leadership traits and leadership styles. That's your foundation. And no matter what organization you're a part of, whether it's a military or a civilian one, both the leadership traits and leadership styles will be consistently effective if you use them correctly. And the leadership or the leaders, unlike managers, use psychology and sociology techniques in order to be most effective.
What advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the first time?
First, you got to start preparing and developing your own leadership skills now. Don't wait until you're put into a position of leadership. And only the fundamentals of leadership can be taught in the classroom. The art of leadership as a whole is gained through experience by trial and error. So always attempt to make logically based decisions over the emotional ones. That may sound easy, almost a given, but it's not. Learn to listen more than you speak. Too much introspection without outside feedback can result in that unhealthy echo chamber type of reasoning, which could inhibit your leadership growth.
Right. Hey,
making mistakes is normal. Repeating the same mistakes, not so much.
Okay. Hey, I got a quick question because you said you retired out of the military. Can I ask you a little bit of something about your process of getting out?
Sure.
So what was that process like? Like, how did you transition? How did that transition feel like? Did you have any help transitioning out of the military?
I did, and that is what made it the transition smoother for me than what it could have been, because I had support mechanisms. I had a plan, and not only were there organizations that were there to help me, I had loved ones there to help me transition.
So did you transition into civilian life easy, or was it like pretty rough?
Both. You're no matter how long you've been in the military, it will change you. It will transform you, no matter which way you want to admit it or not. You're going to be changed forever. So a lot of the structured environment that you're used to, you're not going to find it in the civilian world. So you're going to have to get used to that, first of all. And a lot of the interactions that you had with your superiors, peers, or your subordinates in the military, they're not the same type of interactions on a daily basis that you're going to have with the same type in the civilian world.
That is so true. That is so true. So, like, for somebody transitioning out of the military, what type of advice would you have for that individual?
Support mechanisms, loved ones, a plan, goals. I think that a plan and goals, realistic ones, are going to help you stay focused, because you need to be focused on where you're going.
That's real big. And I like to go back to the leadership portion, and I think I said it on my last one, because he pretty much pointed out everything as far as the Army values: loyalty, bear true faith and allegiance to the U.S. Constitution, the Army, your unit, and other soldiers. Duty, fulfill your obligations. Respect, treat people as they should be treated. Selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Hey, I like to thank you for everything that you've done for your country. First and foremost, I like to thank your family because they stood by you. I like to thank your wife. I'll be talking to her soon. But like, I've seen you around Warhorse, Bakuba, a couple of times. And and you carried yourself as such. Chest was always poked out. Oh, and you look the same, bro. I'm trying to tell you, you look the same. I know you might be like, nah, I don't think so.
Thank you.
Yeah. You actually do look.
That's kind.
That's
Yeah, I
good.
appreciate that.
That's real. He must be drinking a lot of water, a lot of vegetables, but he might say something different.
Both of them, right?
So what are you doing with your time right now, now that you're retired?
Well, I spend a lot of my time pursuing hobbies. I did a lot of contract work when I first got out. But now I'm pursuing my hobbies and I'm doing a lot of things that I enjoy. You know, I'm enjoying my life. So I do a lot of woodworking.
Yeah, I've had a interview with my first sergeant at the time when we was in Bakuba. He did contract work, and I think he left because of his leadership was kind of getting in the way of who he was supposed to be at the time, and that was big. And I had to
Right.
leave the workforce because of that exact same thing. I was a parole officer up in Temple because I'm still here in Texas,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
it was like everything that they were coming to me with was some things that shouldn't have been on my desk.
Right.
And every time she come to me, I'll kind of get an attitude with her, like, this is really not the standard. And first and foremost, I shouldn't be opening up your place of business before you even get here. I have no manager, I'm not a manager or nothing. I'm low on the totem pole. So
Right.
that right there, to a NCO, I'm telling you, if you uphold some type of standard, because we always in the mix of growing, not to say there's an all-time best leader in the world, but if you have any type of standard, let me tell you, that is the one thing that kind of gets me about a business or a person. If you say 1 o'clock, I'm gonna say, okay, I'll be there about probably 12:50. And most of
Right.
the times I was there 30 minutes prior to when I had to be there so I can kind of get myself together. And that was like some of the things that the military had instilled in me, like showing up beforehand so you can get yourself prepared for what's supposed to take place. Always being
Right.
ready for something. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you for what you do. And like,
Thank you.
spend your time the way you want to
Thank you.
spend your time. And that's the best thing ever. Because if you don't have yourself, you don't have nothing. We always in a point of transitioning from one place to another. Troops, we need to understand that. As civilians too, that's one thing we need to understand. Life is about transition. We need to learn and get something from it. Not to say you'll always be right for the things that take place within that transition, but we always need to learn from what we go through. Do you have anything motivational to close out with?
No, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity. It's an honor to speak, and I think that these sessions are very informative, and for many, they can be very cathartic. So I appreciate what you're doing, and I want to thank you for your service also in the military and what you're doing now.
Okay. Who's up next for formation? Huh? Vets, let's talk.